Hello, welcome to Airing It Out. I'm Josh.
And I'm Jonas.
And this is Jerry. And today, I think we're just coming to you with a little chit chat.
Yeah.
We got some stuff, we watched some films we want to talk about.
Finally back with an episode. It's been a couple of days with just gaming videos. But
yeah, I've been tired. I don't know what's happened. Sleep has just gone really weird the last couple of days.
I think it's the weather. It's changing.
Yes.
The weather is changing.
Yes.
Got more rainy days now.
Well, I think it's raining right now. No, I don't know. There's been a couple of days where I've just had like zero energy until like midnight, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I'm awake now.
That's not a good time for me to record stuff. It's like
no, yeah, I don't know. It's been weird, but there's been a few days like that. But I feel like we're back on form.
We're back on track, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
We watched a few new things. You're definitely educating me in all the good films.
Well, so basically,
yeah,
from my travels on my gap year,
yeah,
I picked up a selection of movies, all of which I thoroughly enjoy, bar a couple that I don't. But like, I feel like there's a good, strong selection of films on my hard drive. And I was furiously looking for a film on Netflix or Prime for us to watch, and I was like, you know what, I'll just go onto the hard drive and see what we haven't both seen, because these are films that I thoroughly enjoy, and it turns out there's actually quite a few.
Yes, there.
Yeah, so
about half of them I haven't seen.
So yeah, we're watching a lot of them, which has been good. Yeah. But no, I think we should start by talking about The Prestige.
Yeah, let's talk
This
about
is a film we talked about before. So it's Christopher Nolan. We're gonna go full spoilers, which means you'll have to go back and find the timestamps for this.
Okay.
To skip forward if you haven't seen it. All I'll say is I recommend it. It's a great movie. It's available on Prime, so you can go watch it for free if you've got Prime, which you probably do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's it. Don't go any further, I think.
Yeah, sure. Don't go any further.
We are going to spoil the film. I don't think you can talk about it without spoiling it.
No.
But this was the first time you've seen it.
Yeah, that was the first time I've seen it. It was like, I definitely noticed it was a great cast. They got some really good actors, and definitely someone just saw that film and thought like, oh yeah, The Greatest Showman obviously is Hugh Jackman, because like it's literally
the same.
It's the same.
Yeah.
I was like, this is seems familiar. Yeah. I don't know. It's. I'm not sure how I feel about it though.
Yeah, no, you didn't respond to it.
Wow. I'm not sure how I feel about it, because it would have been I think it would have been such a great movie if it was like a magic trick and not some weird like science explanation that isn't an explanation.
But that's only for half.
Yeah, no, but that's I was just at the end, I was sitting there and it's like, really? It's a Tesla electro whatever zapping cloning
But I don't
stuff?
think that's the mystery that you're meant to figure out.
I guess.
I
was just quite disappointed in that.
Yeah, I get that. But I think that's that thing of like, if the audience is striving for more, like how Hugh Jackman is, it's like, okay, that explanation is there for that half the film if you want it to be. But that's not... Like, I mean, the opening shot is hundreds of hats. Like, I think it is very well presented. Okay, like we're duplicating stuff. But I think that's more of a misdirection.
Yeah. I mean, it totally makes sense, because obviously through my disappointment, it's like, oh no, I actually want it to be a trick. I want it to be magic in that sense that...
There is an explanation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, I guess that's always what I think what they also say in the film is like, magic isn't something that can't be explained, but for just a second you're fooled.
Yeah.
So like, you are fooled, but then afterwards you're like, oh yeah, and then you find the explanation, and it is cool and all that. And so I guess maybe they were trying to do that with like, okay, if it is just a sciencey thing, and it's not a magic trick, it's not a trick, it is literally
magic.
Yeah. Then it isn't as cool.
Yeah, but on the flip side, you've got Christian Bale, who is a trick.
He is a trick.
The whole time. And I think that's the thing that most people don't figure out throughout the film. But you definitely can. Yeah, I must admit, I was disappointed, because I've seen this one a few times.
Yeah.
And the first big clue
Yes.
was on screen, and I turned around to kind of look at Jonas and be like, did he spot it? And he's sitting there on his phone, which is rare for you.
I was literally just checking, like, if I had received messages. I didn't.
There's a few huge visual clues,
anything.
and I think this is where my enjoyment of the film comes so much, because you did compare it to Sherlock Holmes.
Sure, yeah.
And I think there's films that this can be compared to, for sure, but I think for me it separates it, because it's not giving you the answer at the very beginning or halfway through, you know, when you know and the characters don't.
Yeah.
So it's not like that, because then I always think I just get a bit bored. I'm like, okay, I know, and then you're just finding out how the characters find out, and I don't think that makes a film particularly rewatchable, because you're like, well, I know. And then you can figure out as the characters figure out.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but then still, so like Sherlock Holmes, while it's fun to see the clues all be there, then at the end you go, oh, so like the frog, that's what that's for. I think you've got to have a very interesting wealth of knowledge if you can actually figure that out before Sherlock does.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can be like, yes, these are all the clues, but I still don't know what they do.
What they go towards. Whereas I think if you are paying very close attention, The Prestige is one of the few films where you can either figure out along with them, but you can figure out beforehand. But the trick is, the big clues are given to you in the first 20 minutes when you don't know that they're clues. And then after that, they become much more subtle, and you kind of, you miss it, which makes rewatching it so enjoyable, because you go, it's obvious. Like, it is so obvious.
Yeah. No, that's kind of what I said immediately after the film was done, is like, you don't know that you're looking at clues, because at that point, that is not the mystery at all.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know.
But they do, they're always there. They're always fed through, and it's like,
I don't think it comes out like a huge plot twist or big reveal, because you definitely know something is up and you kind of guess what it is, but since it isn't the mystery from the beginning on, you don't actually look for those clues from the beginning on. But yes, I think I didn't pick up on some of them as I could have.
Yeah, which I was a bit surprised by, because I tried, the only kind of spoiler I gave was pay attention. You know, I think it's a film that rewards paying very close attention.
What was the visual cue that I supposedly missed?
It's one of the first ones. There's a few big ones. Even, like, to the point where when he's, like, giving tea, and you're even like, that's bullshit. When he meets the girl for the first time, and he, like, goes to the door, and she's like, no, I don't think that's appropriate. And then he's there on the other side, you're like, that's bullshit. And I was like, we've already had enough. You should be able to figure out at this point. So, like,
this seems so unrealistic, is because it is not realistic in the way you would think it's the same person. It's
but I was like,
full spoiler
before that point, you do have enough information to know, okay, Fallon is his brother. But yeah, it just didn't click, and I was a bit like kind of surprised. I kind of smiled and was like, you should know by now.
No, there's no way you would. There's no way you would even assume that thing. You know, it's a film about magic.
I don't know, but this is the thing, because
it's tricky and all, and so there's no reason why you should.
See, I think the way they get away with the Tesla plotline is because they spend so long building up to it. So it's not like a film like Now You See Me, where they're just like magic. You know, and you're like, well, that doesn't make any. How did any of that happen? And they're like, magic. You know, just kind of ignore it. They spend a good, like, all of Hugh Jackman's plot is based upon, I need to invent this machine. You know, I need to get it. So it's not like that's the only thing that kind of isn't real.
Yeah.
So I think that's why, because they spend so much time building up. So you should have a feeling of everything should be able to be explained, which it can.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I definitely think it rewards a rewatch to spot those clues.
Yeah, no, for sure. But that's kind of what I think. Like, a lot of these things are in hindsight, whereas, like, you're half an hour in, then you're like, oh, this is something. Oh, wait, now I have to remember everything that came before and search my memory for the clues that I have received. You know, it's not like I start watching this film trying to pick up on those clues, and I think that's a bit of an, I don't know if that's very smart, or if that's a bit of an issue, because it's like you're then not paying attention to what you should in a way be paying attention.
Yeah,
but I guess it definitely it means that it warrants a second viewing, and you're like, okay, now I'm focusing on very different things.
Yeah, and I think even without the whole mystery stuff, as a film, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Like, I think the acting is all good. The dialogue isn't anything to write home about, sure, but like it serves the plot. There's no line where you kind of go, okay, you know, like it's all fine. It's definitely. I mean,
amazing actors in it: Hugh Jackman, Christian Bale,
Michael
Caine, Scarlett Johansson,
and the wife.
Yeah, I don't know her.
She's one of those faces that's kind of familiar, but. No,
I don't think I've seen her in anything. Maybe, I don't know.
Rom-coms.
Okay.
The
wife.
No, yeah. I think though, like in terms of as a plot, it's like you could take the magic out of it, and you'd still have an interesting plot.
Oh yeah, I mean it's in a way it's again the whole like two dogs want the same bone, and they try to outplay each other trying to get there. And I think that is quite interesting, because it's always like, oh, you'll never be the magician that I am, simply because you're not a twin. I think is so cool, because it's always like, you'll never be as good as me. And then he's like, why not? And trying to improve himself, trying to get all these things for himself, is like, there's no way, because you just don't have what I have in that sense. I think is also very, very interesting, like, I guess, commentary on just having a privileged predisposition.
Yeah. And then on the flip side, even when Hugh Jackman has a worse trick, he's able to show it up better. Yeah. You know, he's a better showman. Could he be the greatest showman?
The greatest, maybe. He is the great Danton.
The great Danton, yeah. No, I think he does that really well. And I mean, there's a few like when he buries.
Yeah, boy.
Fenton alive. Fenton? No, what's his name? Fallon. When he buries Fallon alive, you're just kind of like, okay.
I must be mad. I do like the cues though, because like the one I didn't really pick up on was the birds and like where's his brother.
Yes, when the bird dies and goes, where's his brother? Like he's a sharp one.
Like. Brother is the key word there.
Yeah.
I think another big one is when they go see the show of is he Chinese?
The bull guy.
Yeah. And it's like, obviously Christian Bale's character, I don't know which one of the two he was there, but like says, oh yeah, he's pretending in every.
Yeah, he's always
pretending or to be this character, and like yes, he figures that out because he literally does it himself. So those are like the little things that
I mean, you got the ropes the first time they show the water trick when Hugh Jackman's wife dies. He ties the right knot, and the second time they make a very big point if he doesn't know it.
Oh yeah.
And so he goes, and then when Hugh Jackman's like, what knot did you tie? He doesn't know. He doesn't know. It's not him.
And in his diary, he's like, part of me and the other part of me. You're like, it's not the same person. It's two people.
You know, some days I love you, some days I don't.
I was a bit like that was.
It's a very big duality.
It sounded so weird. That whole thing of like some days you mean it and some days you don't. That just sounded so strange to me. I was like, what is this? What?
Yeah. Yeah.
No one says that.
I think as well, like, they do talk differently. So Freddie has a deeper register than Alfred, we'll say.
Oh.
Which is interesting. There's more of that kind of Welsh accent sneaks in. Which I just think is interesting, but like there is a point where you can tell exactly which one's Christian Bale at the time, like which one's being the magician and which one's Fallon, which I think is incredible.
Oh, do you think only one of them is actually a skilled magician and the other one is just...
No, I think they're both skilled magicians. But in terms of like which one is the one that loves Sarah and which one loves Scarlett Johansson's character, the one that gets married has a higher voice.
Okay. Interesting.
which is just a really interesting thing, and
Yeah.
you kind of go, as soon as you spot it, you go, oh, of course, and then you know exactly which one.
Yeah, I would definitely rewatch that at least one more time,
Yeah.
maybe multiple times to try and spot that, because I'd be interested in, like, did they write the scenes knowing which one of them?
100%. I mean,
Or is it I don't know. I would definitely question that. Or is it just Christian Bale being like, no, what I'm gonna make the distinction here,
I think
ever so slightly.
I like to think that this was well written out enough.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the plot is so tight and it leaves room for no errors.
That they have to know who was in what situation at the time.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
No, it's there's lots of like tiny little things like that kind of just all.
Yeah, or like
contribute.
the thing with his fingers like being.
It's like it's bleeding. It's like it happened just yesterday.
Yeah.
Like it did happen just yesterday.
But there's no way of knowing.
No.
There's no way of knowing that's a hint. Like.
Yeah. No, I know. There's a few. There's a few.
There's a few things. I don't know. I think the conflicts are very cool though, because it's not just about being better than someone else, but it's always about being the best that you can be as well. Like they have such a big goal, and I think that makes for obviously awesome drama, because it's like there's such a big goal to reach, so far to go.
Mm-hmm.
For both of them, really. And I guess a lot to lose in that as well. Whereas, like, obviously Hugh Jackman loses a lot at the very start of the film.
Well, the film starts with Hugh Jackman dying. The whole film's a flashback. Is them reading their diaries.
Is it?
Yeah. You get the hat and then Hugh Jackman falling into the water.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I was like,
no,
what did I miss? Yeah,
like,
no,
there's so many things like that are just given away completely, and then you forget. I think I usually forget. Then you get kind of run up to it, and you're like, oh, because you know Christian Bale's not guilty from the very beginning.
Yeah. No, I was thinking of Hugh Jackman dying as in like the very last scene, but like no, it starts with the trick where he falls
trick
into
dying, not
yeah.
the Lord Oaks.
No, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew something was fishy about that. Like it is very clear that he doesn't actually die in that situation, but it's like
well, he does.
Yeah, but that's I mean that's also
Which
part of like
dies.
you definitely know this is Christian Bale being framed.
Yeah.
And I guess it's smart because they don't really show Hugh Jackman being dead until quite later on, so you still have that doubt of like, did he actually die? Yeah. No, but obviously you do know that he's innocent. I do wonder, because it's like you have Michael Caine's character who accuses him of murder, and it's
he doesn't know.
But I think it's quite interesting for him to be the one doing that. Like, he doesn't know anything about the cloning. He doesn't know anything about like whether or not there's a water tank underneath, so he assumes there isn't.
I mean, it seems like a very weird trick to do. Because this world, like, they do set very clear things of, like, magic isn't real.
Oh.
And then for this, magic, essentially. So yeah, I get why it looks fishy, but I think it's interesting that essentially the innocent Alfred gets hung, and the one that actually kills Hugh Jackman goes free.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's a huge revenge plot, no.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's interesting because I usually find myself getting behind Hugh Jackman's character rather than Christian Bale's.
Mm-hmm.
And Christian Bale's just a bit of a... Like, if I was in that situation with the twin, that is not how I'd do it. You know?
That's not how you would utilize your twin?
No, even if in, like, magic. But, like, just being like, you know what? Whenever one of us is spending time with the wife, it's going to be me, because you always fight with them.
Okay.
Like, why would you take that... Well, I mean, she ends up hanging herself. So, yeah like...
Yeah.
I just... I don't know. It always rubs me the wrong way. I'm
No, I
like,
think
why pretend? Like, to that extent, like, I think you can just get away with it and be like, okay, you're going to be Fallon. Fallon's going to live in this other house, and you can just roam free there.
Well, I mean, it does make sense, because then you're like, you definitely get the best out of each situation. But I think then it is the whole thing of, like, it's much harder to spot.
Yeah.
Or, like, it's so much easier to spot the difference when you have one thing all the time and then it changes.
Oh, for the audience.
Well, also for the wife. But if she has both of them...
That's what I mean. Just have one.
No, but if she has both of them, then it is to her the same person, just different, I guess, personalities in a way. And it's the same for the audience. If they only see Alfred every evening doing those tricks, and then whatever his name is, Freddy?
Sure. I mean, it's just Alfred as well.
Yeah. Obviously. But then Freddy doing all the other tricks, then it's like they're going to spot the difference. But if they switch and do the same tricks on various nights, so each of the two do all tricks at some point during the run of the show, then it becomes much harder to spot when they change. When they and that's what he says precisely, is like the trick is when they swap.
Oh no, but I would just have it so like not one is always Fallon, but just be like, I've got to go away for a couple days to let Freddy be normal.
With a wife, yeah.
Well, with Scarlett Johansson for a bit, you know, and then swap back, rather than have both interact with the same significant others, which obviously leads to a huge...
but they can also not do it at the same time, because then it's like, no,
that's what I mean. One's gonna have to be Fallon for a bit, and just Fallon away. Yeah. No, I think it's...
I mean, that was also, I have to say, that was quite clear, because you never ever saw this character. You never
see his eye wart.
You never find out anything about this character, so it is quite clear that something is up with him, and he has a role to play and all that.
I think it's clear what it is. I don't think most people manage to spot or guess exactly right on first viewing.
Oh no!
Even though like you're okay, Fallon has something to do with this, and then it's like okay, right, they're the same.
Honestly,
person.
I don't think I would try. Like I'm also the sort of person that is like, let the movie tell the story. So it's like, I know something is up. I'm waiting for them to reveal it to me. Yeah. And then I can make my judgment of whether I like that the way they did it or not afterwards. I guess it's cool enough, because obviously there is some reward in guessing what happens, and then it happens. But I think for me it's also enough to know that something is up, and like these are the moving parts, and I just can't figure out quite how they go together. I think that's enough of like the anticipation and reward. Okay. For me.
Fair. No, I think compared to like Nolan's other films, admittedly, I haven't seen Memento. I know I should.
Yeah.
I'll get there. Have you seen it?
No.
No. But like, I like how the clues come from different areas each time, so it is little sentences thrown in here and there, the way the character's acting, compared to like Inception, which I think once you figure out when he's got his wedding ring on, he's in the dream, and when he doesn't, he's not. That's it. Like, that's not even the clue, that's just the answer. And I think as soon as you know that, it's kind of okay. Whereas I think The Prestige does warrant rewatches more to be like, oh, there's that sentence I missed before. Here's that one. Because they're all from different places. Whereas if there's just one answer, you're like, okay, when he's like, if they didn't have him chop his fingers, you could be like, okay, if he's in gloves, he's that one. If he's not, he's not. Then you'd be like, okay, cool, great. But I think it's nice that they do come from separate places.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's interesting that it's not typical Chris Nolan.
You are there?
Yeah, it's not a typical Nolan film in terms of like the dealing with like the meta topic, I would say, of like cloning or that kind of stuff. Like, it's not Inception is the topic of the film, or like time travel is the topic of the film, you know. So it is strange to have that be part of the film, but not the guiding principle or like the essence of
I think I prefer. I think apart from Dark Knight, it's my favorite Nolan film. I think. For me, his other films just try to do too much.
Interesting.
To the detriment, like, okay, what are any of the characters' names in Inception?
Yeah, I don't know.
And I've seen that film multiple times.
I've seen that many times, yeah.
Dunkirk, I couldn't even tell you the difference between 3 of the characters. They're all the same. And I think that film has other issues.
I haven't seen it.
Interstellar.
Yeah.
I don't know, for me the answer in Interstellar is if you only had...
Yeah.
No, but like if you only had the magic.
Uh-huh.
So if you had Hugh Jackman's reveal.
Uh-huh.
And that was it. That was the only mystery in the film. How is he doing this?
Mm.
And it's like, oh, he has this magical device. For me, that's what Interstellar is like. Because it's like, okay, he's gone into a black hole and now has a thing. And I know a lot of people do say, like, your reception to the ending of Interstellar changes how you view the whole film. So if you like the ending, you like the film. And if you don't like the ending, you don't like the film. Because it's so true. Core. But I think that's quite risky. Like, there's a few films that I don't like the ending for.
Yes.
But I fairly enjoy the whole movie. Or vice versa. So I think it's a bit of a shame to kind of peg a whole film on that one principle. Whereas I think Prestige does a better job of, it does have a good story of split personalities and commitment to a thing and relationships and conflict, revenge.
Yeah.
But also there is a mystery that undergoes that, but the film's not about that mystery. It's just, it all goes to the sum of greater parts.
Yeah. I don't know. I would have liked to see a bit more variety in them outplaying each other for sure. Because it seems like after the third time, it just being, they show up at each other's show and then volunteer to go on stage and aren't noticed until they are on stage.
Yeah.
And then do something. It's like, okay, we've seen this.
That's true.
You'd think they would get very good at spotting the other when they come.
Yeah, they keep like, you, and you're like,
this is a mistake. Or they have just a wanted poster at the front and like, don't let this guy in because I don't want him to be at my show. It's I don't know. That was a bit of a
misstep. Yeah.
A little bit. No, but Interstellar is definitely like, either you can get on board with the end. Like, obviously, that's a huge risk because it's something that you can't. No one can really explain.
Yeah. I mean, it's unlikely to be true.
A 4-dimensional time strings.
I'm willing to place a large amount of money on the fact that if you go into a black hole, you die very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you'd atomize. So.
You heard it here.
Yeah, well, yes.
Atomize.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much force that it would literally split you to your core.
Yeah.
So you're unlikely to be able to float around and control time.
It is, in that sense, it's so funny to be like, yes, and then stuff at the speed of light, and then stuff that is faster than the speed of light, and you're like, no matter really can reach the speed of light because then it has infinite matter and infinite mass, so it is too big and heavy. Even if
theoretically you travel faster than the speed of light, you wouldn't be able to move through time and space. Time would go backwards. As you move, but you couldn't just like float around a bookshelf and start chucking dust out. That's not how moving works.
I don't think. But I'm not sure if that's meant to be an actual space he's moving through. As in, like, he's not going forward or backward in a 3-dimensional space.
Well, he's in a 4-dimensional space.
He's in a 4-dimensional space.
And that's the thing, though. I just, like... Yeah. Obviously, science can't complain it. He went on a hop, skip, and a jump to be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Good for him for doing it. I think it's very visually impressive. But for me, it kind of breaks the plot. Which is a shame.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not sure if it is meant to be like him actually moving, or it's just maybe a thing of like, I'm in the black hole, and because of my state being in the black hole, I have access to all these time strings, and therefore access to go back in time.
Sure.
in a way.
I mean, I understand. I just disagree.
It's a bit of a crazy one. That's for sure. That's I think of all the films, that is definitely the hardest one to get on board. I'm totally cool with Inception. Like, that is...
Oh, yeah, Inception doesn't break its own rules, so...
No. Well, I don't think Interstellar does. In that sense.
No, but the set of rules it makes are quite...
Yeah.
Outlandish.
I
think as well,
I always love the
right at
wormholes.
the
Like,
end.
oh, if you want to get from this point to this point, you don't have to travel along the paper. You just flip it and go like, pff, and you're like, okay, but how does one
Flip it. Yeah, I don't know. For me as well, like in Inception, like the whole first act is set about setting up rules.
Yep.
Which in turn creates stakes.
Yeah.
So you've got, okay, whatever, the rules of Inception, you've all seen it.
Mm.
If you haven't, go watch it.
Mm.
But then it's like, oh, hey, go watch.
No, I mean...
But no, then it's like, okay, we've gone deeper. What does that mean? If we die in real life. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to get out. Then the whole film is about that.
Yeah.
Whereas Interstellar, it's like a normal space film until the very end, where it's like, fourth dimension. We can now move space and time. And you're like...
Yeah.
It's new. And they've introduced that. It's a long film as well, so you're very far into the movie before that's introduced, even as an idea.
That's true. I mean, the entire journey of the film really is we're searching for a new home planet.
Yeah.
So like, it's not they're on a journey to discover what's inside a black hole. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas I think that's where The Prestige works better for me. It's like, okay, the film is about magic.
Mm-hmm.
The topic is magic. There is real magic and what magic really is.
Mm-hmm.
In
smart.
two ways. Yeah, no, but it does it.
Real magic and what magic really is.
But it manages to do it all without kind of breaking its own rules.
Yeah.
And the rules it does break, it is setting up very clearly from an early point in the film.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's why it's just a bit tighter for me.
Yeah, I quite like, or I think the character of Tesla is funny.
It's David Bowie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Andy Serkis, no, but it's like, it's funny to think that that's what Tesla was actually like. Like, he had these awesome things that he could have done if only he wasn't so ahead of his time.
There is an element of truth in that.
I'm sure there is, yeah.
Because there's that whole conflict with Thomas Edison.
Uh-huh.
And it's only now that we kind of look back and go, oh, Tesla coils are actually very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And Thomas Edison just kind of bought it out. I mean, there's a whole history there that you can go away and Google.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. But honestly, I think that's very cool to have, like, as a second layer of basically the same conflict that the magicians are having, is like these two top players trying to outplay each other and therefore kind of like ruining each other's lives.
Yeah.
Because like if they would both in a way work together to help each other out, they would probably be so much greater, but only because they want to be the individual at the very top. That's where all the disaster happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's good. But no, good film. Worth rewatching.
I think so.
Would recommend.
Yeah.
Another film. Which we have watched. I tried to make that really dramatic so I can find the timestamp.
I got it.
34.
That's
minus
smack
20.
smack bang in the middle.
Mm-mm. But we watched Tropic Thunder.
We did, that was such a you went to present it, but also with very limited energy. No, we watched Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, which...
I had no idea what I was in for.
I can't believe you've not caught it yet. This is another film that was on my...
I don't know where I would have caught that, though.
I don't know, it's like... I mean, it came out right around the 2008, 2007.
Yeah, but it definitely didn't come out in German cinemas or anything.
Really?
Yeah,
it was one of those films
sure.
as a kid, like it's that and Son of Rambo were two films that were just everyone seemed to have, and you just always watched with friends.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No. No, definitely not.
Well.
No, definitely not.
What did you think of it then?
It was funny. It's like, I mean, it's certainly a film that you could not make today because it has very... let's say, controversial things going for it. Obviously, the blackface is the biggest thing where I'm like, danger. I gotta say, Robert Downey Jr. acts so brilliantly, though. It's crazy. Yeah, it really is crazy. No, but I especially like the opening, because I can, like, what I thought of is sitting in a cinema and literally not knowing if it was the commercial still playing or did the movie start already.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a shame that the actual like clips of the production companies are distinct, so you can tell that this is different to the ones before. It would be even cooler if they just had it as fast as the ones before, like as rudimentary. But then I guess they couldn't have the full length ones beforehand of like Universal or 20th Century Fox, but because they just wouldn't get the rights. There's no way they can be like, yes,
here's
Universal,
all the production companies.
Yeah, we're gonna make fun of all of you, and we don't want to pay you.
Yeah, I wonder if they
did
have to cough up to use those logos.
Probably a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Although they must be like, even though they are competitors, they must be like,
this will be funny.
Yeah, or like they must have each other in their like contacts and be like, let's meet up for like a drink, and is it cool if I do that? And they would probably be like, you know what, it's cool. At least I hope so. Yeah. It'd be cool to have like the big studio bosses be
buds.
Buds, yeah.
Oh man, no, I think it's a brilliant film about filmmaking essentially. I do think it's a shame that films like that can't be made. I mean, that film is only 10 years old and a bit.
I guess the kind of humor is just not funny anymore because people are...
But that's not true, because the film is still funny.
Yeah.
It's just not allowed to be funny anymore.
Yeah, certainly.
I think that's, for me anyway, an issue.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's definitely... It is really a thing of, like, you can't make that joke. Meaning, it is a joke, but it is censored. Or it should be censored. And that, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think it definitely depends on the situation. And the film knows that it is venturing, like, dangerous territory. They definitely call it out on that as well, which is very, very important. Because if you ever want to do risky stuff, you kind of have to show that you are aware of the risk that you're taking. So it's not just like I'm ignorant and I haven't considered the effects of what my actions could have.
Yeah, I think if you had an actor in blackface just as is, then you got a problem. But to have an actor acting an actor in blackface, I think for me anyway, I have no issue with it. And they make a lot of jokes at it.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point is for him to be like method acting and taking it to an extreme that is not okay, and that's why he's being called out by the other black actors. Like, this is not, you can't just no.
Yeah, I think there's some amazing funny lines that come off of that though. Like, there's a lot of jokes there that I think it's a shame that we're not treated to in a world where I personally, like, I find comedy a really hard genre to get right. I think there's so much bad comedy that when something does come along and you go, like, that's hilarious, obviously humor is subjective, so if you find crap comedy good for you. I'm not blessed with such low standards. So
it really depends on what you count as crap comedy. I know that wasn't like top tier filmmaking at all.
No. But I think for me, it's all dialogue. I need dialogue to be funny. Yeah. There's definitely funny dialogue in that film, and I think it's a shame that so many of those jokes now are taboo. Or even like Life of Brian, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Like, Monty Python's whole shtick I find very funny, but there's a lot of stuff there that they did that you just can't do anymore. And I think that's a real shame, because I know those films are classics and people rewatch them and people still find them funny, but you just can't make that today. And I don't know, for me that's a shame.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to... I think you could still do it, but you would have to show that you're aware of it, and you would probably get a lot of backlash that you would then have to be like, look guys, I will happily discuss it, explain it, in order to make you see that I have thought this through, and if you still don't like it, then that is your subjective take on it. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I do think you can do it, but it is more risky, and you would have to justify it even better today. I think it's interesting that it's not a necessarily film on filmmaking. I think it is a film on, like, a commentary on how serious people take the filmmaking business.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of actors that view themselves as super top tier, high class, big shot actors. The same goes for the producers or agents. And I guess what that also entails is the whole method acting, or like method of like living the action rather than acting itself. I guess that's the whole premise of the film, being like, yes, we're gonna drop them in the jungle with actual Viet Cong, which aren't Viet Cong, but like the whole thing is that it is real and not acted, and that is quite funny, because it's just not how things are. But I guess it also, like, it definitely comes from a period of time where things were getting too serious for what the genre actually was. Like, if you're saying like Rambo, which they were definitely quoting in a way, or ridiculing, and it's like they're taking these action films that are ridiculous but just action heavy, and they're taking themselves too seriously. Like, that it's funny how serious they think their Rambo film is. Yeah. And that's what that film does really, really well.
Yeah, and even poke fun at like the whole true story thing as well. With Four Leaf, who's like, I'm a true patriot though, and you're like, well, because there are so many, especially American patriot films, military, and you're like, I don't know how true this is. Yeah. Like, okay. So it's nice they kind of poke fun everywhere.
No, I think that's also very important to be like, right, we're gonna poke fun at a lot of things, and that kind of makes it okay to be poking fun at certain things, because we're not just poking fun at that. Like, it's not picking on one kid, it's picking on all the kids. Which, to some people, that still doesn't make it okay, but it certainly...
for me, it gives you a free pass.
Well, I mean, it's definitely not... You circumvent the whole thing of, like, you are biased against this one thing.
Yeah. No, especially considering this was obviously, I think, Ben Stiller, who is an actor, directed, produced. So to make fun of actors, directors, and producers is like, well, sure, of course you get permission to do that. Yeah, no, I like that he's having fun with himself, and that's quite clear. Yeah, I don't know. Because I do just think it's kind of a shame when people criticize that, and you're like, well, this is, if anyone can make fun of producers, it's the producer of a movie. You know, like, I don't think that's the only person who should be able to do that, but like, if anyone can do it, it has to be them. Yeah. No, it should. That's also the whole point of humor, I think, is like, can you laugh at yourself? Yeah. Sorry, I'm yawning away. I got way too early. So much for not being tired anymore. I never said that. I said we're getting there. We're getting there. No, I think that film was quite enjoyable. Quite enjoyable. Yeah. Speaking of Ben Stiller.
Yes, we also
watched The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
So these are both films that are on the hard drive.
The hard drive of movies.
That you were shocked that I hadn't seen yet.
Yeah. I really like this film.
I have heard of that film, but it never seemed to be like, oh yes, that is a film you want to see.
Yeah, I would say that. I don't think
it's very below the radar kind of film.
Yeah. I think its box office success shows that.
Did it have success?
I think it made like double its budget.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. It's not like incredible, but
yeah, no, I think it also just wasn't advertised.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this. Very inspirational.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's about a guy going on his journey. He lives a very simple life.
Mm-hmm.
Or, not simple, but just does the exact same thing every day.
Mm-hmm.
And he's forced into adventure.
Somewhat, yes.
And gains his own self-confidence because of that. I think it's nice to see.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a film about taking risks of trying new things, I guess. I really like that it isn't the stereotypical... it isn't the stereotypical office job kind of situation. So he isn't sitting in his own little cubicle or whatever.
Yeah.
But it is somewhat the same premise. So a guy who has been stuck in the same job for
16 years.
Yeah, 16 years. And yeah, I mean, it speaks to a lot of people for a reason, because I think everyone at some point or another will question whether or not what they're doing is what they should be doing or what they want to do going forward. And so it's a nice way, I think, of quite clearly saying, like, maybe just change your perspective from time to time to see what else is out there. It doesn't have to be quite as literal as, like, travel the world, but
But in saying that, I think they do a really good job of making, like, I think the cinematography in the film is really, really pretty.
Oh yeah.
So they make Iceland, Greenland, and the Himalayas look very appealing.
Yeah.
Which for a film that's there to inspire people to travel, I think is good.
You think that's precisely what they want to do?
No, but I think it's about coming out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Taking risks, like you say, and also not. So there is an element of just being comfortable in one's own skin as well. So like, and ahhing about stuff, and it's like actually just, like you work with this girl that you're trying to like, should I send a wink? Should I not? Should I send a wink? Should I not? And it's like you could actually just talk to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, instead of this overthinking, it's like actually okay. It's like, oh, Greenland, you can't take a train to Greenland, right? Okay, it's like actually just you need to go there, go. So be it travel or just doing things, making a change. I think it does a really good job of showing that.
Interesting.
You're smiling.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah, no, it makes me think of me a lot, I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow. No, but that's why, I mean, also why I think it speaks to a lot of people. It certainly spoke to me in that sense. It's like, it's sometimes that hesitation that is just, why?
Yeah.
Because in the end, you're probably going to do it anyways, like...
I think that's one of my favourite visual cues is actually the opening of the film, which they do the credits really creatively. So they have them like built into the background as he's walking to work.
I love that.
Beautiful. Really, really cool. But also, so all the extras that are walking as he's like walking on the street are walking faster than him. When he's at the train station, he's the only person sitting.
Yeah.
And there's just little things like that are like, okay, and I think even if you don't notice them, they're just subconsciously like taking away if like he's stuck.
Yeah.
He's not going anywhere.
That's really smart. That's proper visual storytelling. I didn't pick up on that. Yeah, but that's really smart. Goddamn.
Multiple viewings.
I know it was funny, like the opening credits, they were really smart, but then it switched to this weird like vibrant colory thing, and I was like, whoa, what has changed suddenly? But I think it also worked out, because then it got
that's the point of the film,
a bit more flowery.
But I think that's the point as well. It's change. You're not stuck in the real world.
Yeah, I guess you got to open your mind to the more colorful, vibrant stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
No,
think
it's pretty cool.
There's
I
a-
also,
I-
huh?
No, say.
Huh? I also liked Ben Stiller a lot in that.
He did a really good job.
Yeah, really good job. I don't know. I hate to imagine or like to see him in like a same sector of actor as like oh my lord, I forgot the name.
You're gonna have to be more descriptive.
Yeah. What's the diamond? No.
The Diamond?
Yeah, that we recently watched. Come back to me.
The Diamond.
No, it's not the diamond. It's
Heist film?
no. It's a recent film on Netflix.
Adam Sandler.
Yeah, that's the name. You
That's
see,
what I said.
is what we said.
Yeah,
When?
but 2 seconds ago.
Okay, Adam Sandler. That is the name. No, but
yeah,
like
because you're thinking like Meet the Fockers, which is
yeah,
a very Adam Sandler movie.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's a shame when he gets chucked into
Put in the same box because
Yeah.
I think films like that definitely show that he's.
Uncut Gems. Bloody hell.
That's the one. Uncut
The
Gem.
Diamond. I'm like, there's no diamond in that movie.
I was like, I know the title's not anything
I was thinking
with diamonds.
Snatch. I was like, it can't be Snatch.
No.
There's no one in that film that's.
No, but he's clearly not the goofy kind of comedy.
Yeah.
Like, sure, there are definitely films like that, like Zoolander. But he's also quite capable of
Acting.
Yeah, more serious stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think as well, like, the film has its funny lines.
Mhm.
Like, it's not a purpose. It
Mhm.
always cracks me up. I'm like, yeah, no, it's the back and forth is there in a lot of scenes. But also seeing Ben Stiller, like, it's almost irritating, like when he's doing these skateboard tricks as Cheryl's back is turned, and then
Yeah.
when she looks around, he's just standing on the board, and you're like, and he just doesn't quite know
Really?
what to say.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, it's just nice because you're like, that character growth is so obviously set up, but it does come to fruition without any weird conflict that's kind of forced in the middle as well, which is nice.
Yes, I mean the whole romance is like, yeah, it plays out. You know, it's
Yeah,
not
it's like she's into him, he doesn't quite know what to do with that, and he
Yeah.
learns how to handle that, rather than, you know, usually even if you've got someone that's a bit awkward, there's that kind of middle bit where it all goes a bit wrong, they're overconfident or something. Or I think this is a much more natural, like, this is actually how someone would find their confidence. Maybe not by going to the Himalayas and Afghanistan, but
yeah.
the way he changes
Yeah.
is very natural, I think.
Absolutely, and even the situation with like him going up to her house with a new longboard and being like, okay, this is the ex-husband, but he's here, so and
Yeah,
losing
it's
all
like
confidence. I think that's very cool, but it doesn't actually come to any conflict that is anything but internal.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool because obviously we are stuck with this character, and therefore like internal conflict is quite nice to have. But I also like that it isn't blown up to anything that it wouldn't be.
And I think that's quite natural as well, because in real life, most people's conflict does come from a place of self-doubt.
Yeah.
So it's like in films, you know, when you're kind of like shouting at the characters to be like, just talk stuff through, but instead they kind of fight about it and then go away. It's like personal experience anyway that doesn't feel natural. So I don't usually fight, but also talking stuff through, most people don't seem to do anyway.
Address what the problem
There's
is.
like an internal conflict there.
Yeah.
I think that film represents that really well, whereas most films don't. They blow up to this huge fight, and you're like, this is... Why are you fighting?
Yeah, it does happen, but...
I'm just obviously...
No, I think what I would like to see is that film be redone with maybe other actors that I don't feel like have a little bit of a connotation.
Okay. Who have you got in mind?
The guy with
Adam Scott.
Yeah, with the fake beard, and also, what's her name?
What do you know him from?
I just feel like it feels like he got a cast from Saturday Night Live.
Okay, fair. That's that guy's what he's in.
Yeah, and so I kind of feel like I'm about to watch that, and just that connotation I think doesn't help the film.
Okay, interesting.
And that's a bit of a shame because it's like, obviously I'm not saying that I can't see them as serious actors in that way, but it does make it harder.
Fair.
And then I also feel like I'm kind of expecting the jokes that they do make, or like the funny lines that they make. I kind of have the expectation of like, oh yeah, this is gonna be silly.
Okay. Fair.
Which is a shame because it's not.
No, it's
Not really.
interesting. No,
And
I
so I'm
don't
like,
know.
maybe that would change it. That
Yeah.
would just change.
I don't know. I know Adam Scott from Parks and Rec, but I think he's a different enough character that I can kind of separate that.
Mm.
I don't think the rest of. I mean, maybe Ben Stiller. It's one of my favorite Ben Stiller films, though, so I kind of more associate him with that
Mm-hmm.
and Tropic Thunder rather than his other movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's kind of the only thing that I would change if I would change anything about the film.
Sure.
Yeah. Maybe a bit more Icelandic or like kind of language. That's always fun. I think. Yeah.
You're like,
And Sean Penn is great. It's so funny.
yeah, he's a good character.
It's so funny because it's so much like. He's like, what is going on? Because he's definitely planned out his thing to be like very simple of like, I sent you all the thing and like it's all there. And
Yeah.
so he's like, why is Walter Mitty what?
Oh, he's like, right, you're in for a treat when you like you realize you've had it this whole time. You're like, oh no.
It's really funny.
No, Sean Penn's always good. He doesn't act a lot though.
He doesn't act a lot. Yeah.
I remember like when I saw him, he's in 2.5 Men as himself.
Really?
Yeah, just for an episode, like a cameo.
Mm.
I was kind of like, I recognize the face, but I don't even know what actor I associate him, like what character I associate him with. Like he's just one of those actors that's kind of
You know the face.
there. It's like I was reading about Guy Pearce yesterday, who's another one that I'm like,
I don't recognize the name.
I can Google him for you.
Guy Pearce.
Yeah,
No, I think I've only seen Sean Penn in
this is Guy
like
Pearce.
the yeah, of course.
This is what I mean. But he's one of those actors that's just in a lot of films, but not really is like the main dude. And you're kind of like, I know you. I know who you are. But if you're like, oh, who does he play? I'm like,
It's like Iron Man 3 or whatever.
Yeah, well, I know him from Alien Covenant.
Mm-hmm.
He's in
Interesting.
the start of that.
No,
But,
I think
like-
Sean Penn is like
Ooh.
the gunman. Or something like that, where he's a sniper.
What? An Iron Man 3?
No.
Oh, sorry.
Sean Penn is not in Iron Man 3.
Sean Penn is gunman, the sniper in what? Is that what the film's called?
I think the film's called The Gunman or something like that. No, but it's like...
You're on your own there.
Damn.
Yeah.
No, it's funny.
Good film, though. Strong recommend.
Yeah, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. I think the title is a bit misleading, though, because you kind of like expect to have a duality of his life,
Sure, yeah.
but it's not that.
No.
I'm not sure if they're hinting at like his,
Mental zone outs?
his visions, or whatever,
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the whole film is a vision.
or maybe it is the whole thing of like he's just not showing himself to the. Maybe that's it. It's not actually him traveling, but it's him showing himself to the world. So
Yeah.
like the secret life is him hiding away. Wow, deep analysis right here.
Sure.
I just patted my own back. I'm sorry.
Oh.
No, but I think that could totally be true.
Yeah.
Because like it's again the situation of like a lot of people are maybe afraid of just going out there in terms of like opening themselves up to the outside.
There you go. Maybe this does resonate with you better than you expected.
No, I don't think I expected it to not resonate with me.
Beautiful.
I think it's very this movie is definitely a broad audience.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think most people find themselves a little extra inspiration wouldn't hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
No, I feel like it doesn't make any big statements or claims, like, and that's what's so nice about it. It's very delicate. It's just a simple thing, really.
do you have anything else you want
No,
to
no.
end it there?
I think it's kind of.
Well, there's 3 movies for you to go away and watch.
Yeah.
It is raining, so you've got time.
Yes,
You know?
and we've got time.
That time. Prestige is available on Prime.
Mm-hmm.
The other two you'll have to find elsewhere, or you can buy them or rent them or whatever.
Mm.
But yeah, no.
Or you could come over and watch them with us.
No, that's illegal until next Thursday. I'm
Oh,
afraid.
yeah, true.
Yeah, it looks like hopefully everyone's staying safe.
Yeah.
That's a big thing at the moment.
Yeah, the UK is slowly opening up. We'll see how successful that's all going to work out.
Yeah, I was reading today our GDP is apparently the worst out of all the European countries.
GDP?
Yeah, apparently we're down like 11-12% or something.
No, fair enough, though.
Yeah, but like out of all of Europe, come on. I don't know. Well done us.
What you gonna do?
Earn more money, I suppose.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Weird. I think
Yes,
Germany wasn't.
and if you want to help us earn money, you should definitely subscribe and click that. No, I
We
think
don't earn
subscribe
any money.
is
Subscribe's enough. You don't need to click the bell icon.
but you should.
You
So
should
get-
subscribe though.
You don't miss a single video that we do.
And liking this video really helps us out as well.
Yeah.
So, thank you. You could even share it with a friend.
Yeah.
2 friends.
2 friends.
Yeah.
I mean, if you share it on Facebook, you're probably sharing it with like 1,000.
Wow,
friends.
if you share it on Facebook, you're big ups.
Yeah, you're gonna get
Yeah.
a plus with a star from us.
Honestly, if you're also making it an hour into the video, I think you get an A+ from us. Too.
Yeah.
Thank
Just let
you.
us know in the comments if you made it this far, and we're gonna give you a big
Big-
heart. You're gonna
big-
get heart, not a thumbs up.
Yeah, and sorry for yawning the whole way through. Basically, we've been staying up till like 5 and then waking up at 1, and I'm
Yes, we
still
have.
a bit kind of all over the
We
place.
had very deep talks yesterday night.
Well, we did a life coaching session,
Yes.
which we can talk about another time, maybe. I don't know.
We should, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to. You can keep
No.
it yourself if you desire.
I like that. We
Okay,
could
cool.
do.
Maybe that'll be tomorrow's chat.
Yes.
Who knows?
See you around.
In the circle.
The circle of life.
Telephone's out of shot. That's fine. You've got your glasses on.
Yes.
Do you usually have your glasses on?
Yes.
Okay.
I always have my glasses.
Do you?
Yeah.
Never noticed. Okay, we can start now.
I make it snap on my finger.
Okay.